Hello, my crafty friends. It's Marie from Marie's Vermont Creations, and it is day 10 of the Countdown to Christmas card series for 2024 with Michele from Scrap Secrets and myself. And today's theme is recycle. So I am going to be showing you 3 different projects. So this first one, I have taken a piece of patterned paper and scored it with 2 score lines. And so I will put the measurements and where I scored it in the description box below. And then I'm going to take my corner rounder and round all 4 corners, and then confuse myself that I didn't do this correctly because I'd made these a while ago. And this I put inside empty gum containers and just to decorate them. I've made small first aid kits with these. They hold a gift card, which I'll show you, and then I put in the gift card and some candy. And it will hold some jewelry. So there are definitely a lot of small items that you could fit into these. They make also great organizers for your purse if you wanted to put change or different things in them. But they're just a little decorative, different way to gift some gift cards or whatever you choose to put in it. And it keeps you from just chucking these in the trash, because I tend to buy these frequently. This is the gum that I prefer, so I have a lot of these. So I did get some first aid small kits from the Dollar Tree, so I have used those before. This here is an empty mixed nut container, and I have spray painted that with some white spray paint, and then gone onto my Cricut and cut out and layered this adorable snowman face. So I am going to just take my bone folder. I've already put the transfer tape on here, save some time. I did do a recent Cricut project where I showed more of that. Can't remember what day that was of the series, but that is definitely something you could check out. But I didn't go through the process. I just figured I'd show you what I do with these. I have done green ones for Halloween. I made them Frankenstein. I think you could do all sorts of things with these containers and have just a fun decorative option. I tried to put one of the battery operated tea lights in it, but the spray paint was too thick for it to shine through. So I don't know if some fairy lights would be a little stronger. Haven't opted with any other lights, but for this snowman, eventually I will crochet a hat just to have around the cover here. But you could decorate these in all sorts of ways, but I just thought that was another neat way to not have these big plastic tubs be in the trash. So that is my second project. And then I recently had an order with honeybee stamps, and they always come in cute little bags. And so I thought, why not make a card out of this bag? So I'm just going to trim it down using my guillotine trimmer from Tim Holtz. I'm just going to cut the end off and then cut me a piece that is 5 1/4 by 4. And I end up with a couple of them, but one of the panels is where that sticker was attached, so it's got a little rip spot in it, but it probably would have worked out okay to use either one. So I am then going to adhere that panel to a regular white card panel just so it has some, sturdiness to it. I used double-sided tape in order to do that. Just wanted to make sure that it wasn't too flimsy. You could definitely adhere this straight to your card, panel or card base if you wanted to. But I'm just going to put down some adhesive and get this put down. And then I do off-screen trim this down to be, let's see, that would be 5 by 3 3/4 is what my finished panel will be. So once I get that done, and it lined up, which was amazing that I did this without having to redo it multiple times, but I do manage to line that up on that corner and lay it down, because with the double-sided tape like that, or the tape runner, you don't have as much wiggle room as you do with wet glue. But I just worried that the wet glue, with it being so thin, might be lumpy. So I'm just taking another card panel and I'm adding this tree from this Simon Says Stamp stamp set, and it's Happy Holidays sentiment that I went with. And I am going to ink both of these up using some clear embossing ink. This one happens to be from Simon Says Stamp, but there's also Versamark ink. Several companies have them. It's just a sticky ink that you use to stamp because your embossing powder will cling nicely to this ink. So I'm going to stamp that down, and then I'm going to coat it with the silver embossing powder from Brutus Monroe, which goes by Sterling. And I just use a coffee filter to catch the extra embossing powder so that I can put it back in my containers. And these tubs of embossing powder last a really long time. So you definitely get a lot of, mileage out of them for, the cost. So I'm just tapping off the excess and wiping away some of the extra embossing powder that I have everywhere. And then I'm going to heat set this with my heat gun until it's smooth and melted. And while I'm doing that, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who has subscribed to my channel. I greatly appreciate it, and everyone that watches my videos. I will have Michele's channel linked down below so you can see what she's done for today's theme. This is her card series, and I have joined her for a couple of years, so I'm really grateful that she has me join her because these are a lot of fun to make these videos. So feel free to leave a comment down below if you have questions or just want to say hello. I greatly appreciate it. I am working my way towards 1,000 subscribers, and if I reach that milestone, I will be doing an extra giveaway if that happens before the end of this series. So now that I have my heat embossing all done, I fussy cut that tree out off screen and the sentiment. So I'm just going to adhere those using some liquid glue. And this is just an A2 size card base that this will go on. And then I thought, well, it could use a little sparkle just on top of the embossing powder. I was originally going to do white splatter, but I didn't really know where my white paint was. So I don't know if I mentioned in my previous video, but the craft room is a mess and needs to be cleaned. So that's the next order of business for me to take care of. But I did find my Lawn Fawn liquid stardust. So I opted to put some of that onto my work surface, and I'm going to use a fan brush to just splatter that all over this panel and all over the tree and even the sentiment. I didn't worry about covering that up because it's just a shimmery liquid, so I figured it wouldn't adhere or obstruct your ability to read the sentiment. So I didn't put it on the card base while I'm filming because, of course, I had to let that dry. But that will go on a white card base. And that is going to complete all my projects for today. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them for me down below. And check out Michele's channel, which I will have linked down below as well. And as always, I hope that you have a great day.